About 90 minutes north of Toronto, here in the Canadian province of Ontario. We are one down, one to go in our World Championship doubleheader. Here in the event center, coming up next, our main event, undefeated Brazilian knockout specialist Acelino Freitas looks to continue his perfect knockout record against number 9 WBO contender Carlos Rios, the WBO Junior Lightweight Championship. Acelino Freitas, as mentioned, the only current world champion with a perfect knockout record. Freitas grew up in the favelas or shanty towns of Brazil, where they often lived 10 to a room. He emerged to become the 3rd world champion from that country and a beloved star, following in the footsteps of Eder Joffrey, one of the greatest fighters in history, and Miguel de Oliveira. Tonight he makes his 5th defense of the WBO Junior Lightweight title.
I work hard. I fight really hard in this weight class. I'm a professional in what I do. I like boxing. I don't fight because of money. I fight because I love it. I just worry about winning. My only worry always is to win. I don't worry about the television exposure because I worry about the person in front of me. I worry about being in the right position and winning. They always see a great fight, a great show with a brave fighter. Watch this fight from a boxer that doesn't use any kind of drugs. Watch this very, very well, because the sport is in our minds, in the power, in the physical preparation. Sport is the open door for success.
Acelino Freitas, he could be a fighter in the mold of a Julian Jackson, who was a chilling puncher, you recall. Some liken him to a young Roberto Duran. Carlos Rios, on the other hand, has been compared to Gene Fullmer. Remember him? With his awkward head-first style. Back here with my partner, Bobby Ches. What kind of a test is this going to be for Freitas?
Well, Rios has been a tough guy who's done the distance with the likes of Floyd Mayweather. And Luisito Espinosa, the only one to stopped him on a cut. So he's a tough, rugged guy. The Gene Fullmer reference, he's awkward, comes in with his heads, burrows in, swings wildly. But they compared him mostly, Freitas, to his offensive abilities. No one's compared his defensive abilities to anyone like a Roberto Duran. I've seen him go down from punches that Roberto Duran, in his prime, never goes down from. I've seen his defense be so lacking in areas that if he was a big puncher, he could have some serious problems, especially with the fact that he's gone down. Now, if his toughness should rise to the level of his offensive abilities, then we got ourselves a little monster.
Yeah, let's check your keys to victory for this fight.
All right, well, let's start with the champion. Keep the pressure on. That's number 1 for him. He likes to get the pressure on, keep his opponent on the defensive at all times. Next, control the pace. Power when he wants power, rest when he wants to rest, and also that big right hand. He has a monster right hand for a little man. Here on the left, you're going to see him throw a lead right hand against Lemuel Nelson, and he follows in. He goes right aggressive, right back with another right hand, a left hook, and then the right hand, and then just pummels him literally into submission. There's the right hand that staggers him, and that's it. That's all he needs. He sees blood. Now, his counterpart's got his work cut out for him. But what he's going to do to neutralize some of that power and that pressure is use a sharp jab. Stick it in his face. Also, work his body. Maybe you tire the puncher out a little bit. And also, be offense-minded. If he keeps his hands in the face of Freitas, Freitas cannot unload his powerful punches. Here against Mayweather, Mayweather's going to throw the jab. And Ross going to slip, go to the body, then try and come up with a hook to the head. Follow. Forward, forward, forward he's going to go. Keeping punches in Mayweather's face. That way Mayweather can't punch him back. There's the jab. He goes to the body and up top. Now, they're not real clean, but because he's so aggressive and he's pretty strong, here you see him actually taking the play away from Mayweather. Because he's so aggressive and offensive-minded, he cannot get hit because Mayweather's hands are busy. That's what he's going to need to do if he's going to win tonight.
It was a heroic effort against Mayweather, but no threat to win. Here's the champion, Acelino Freitas, really being talked about in the business. Big star in Brazil, as all the top soccer players there are. Drew 50,000 in his first defense. 20 of his 26 knockouts inside 3 rounds. He's averaged 2.7 rounds per fight. If there is one chink in the armor, it's that he has struggled with the weight problems. He used to be a lightweight. The question is he the future of the talent-rich 130-pound division, or will he move back up to 135? Hopefully, Bobby, that he'll stick around at 130, because we've got some mammoth unification fights out there with guys like Mayweather, Corrales, and Casamayor.
Steve, it's one of my favorite divisions, and he's one of the reasons, but rumor has it, and even Freitas will say, his hardest foe is in the gym making the weight. This is the only division where all the champions are undefeated. He's the only champion who's undefeated all by knockout. So it would be a terrible shame if he left this division before we found out who the man is.
The challenger and reigning South American featherweight champ, Carlos Rios from Argentina, a mountainous test. Despite his experience, he's really up against it tonight against one of the world's top young punchers. His third world title fight, knocked out in 6 by Luisito Espinoza. He was down 3 times, lost by decision. And we told you about the Mayweather fight. He did last the 12. All 4 losses on the road. The others to Cesar Soto, took some tremendous shots. Robbie Payton back in March, a split decision. A very strong guy. Also one of those awkward free swingers. A courageous fighter. Bobby, his defense, though, is a weakness, which could be a major factor against such an intense slugger like Freitas.
Anytime you get hit a lot by people, especially with someone that likes for the power of this guy, it could be your downfall immediately. Freitas is a legitimate one-punch KO power type guy. You cannot stand and trade with him. He would be better suited to hit, move, slip, work, tighten up his defense, and fire on the inside, and test Freitas' chin and see what he has.
And Rios gets hit a lot. Let's check out the numbers as we go to the tail of the tape. Freitas, 25, 4 years younger. The height nearly even. Biggest disparity, reach, 4.5-inch advantage for Freitas. At yesterday's weigh-in, Freitas 130, Rios just under. More on the weight situation momentarily. The key WBO rules for this title fight. There's no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. If an accidental headbutt occurs before the end of the 4th, it's a technical draw. After the end of 4, they go to the scorecards. Now, the fighters got on the scales a second time at 11 this morning. In accordance with Canadian rules, they got to be within 8 pounds of each other. So here are the weights from the first and second weigh-ins, plus from just before the fight tonight. This couldn't have been fun for Freitas. Look at the Freitas now 8 pounds more than he was yesterday. Rios 10 pounds more than he was. So here at Casino Rama in Ontario, Canada, we're getting ready for the main event, the WBO Junior Lightweight Championship. Acelino Freitas versus Carlos Rios. Let's get the official introductions from our ring announcer, the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we welcome you to Casino Rama in Ontario, Canada. At this time, we are ready for our featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Frank Warren Sports Network and Banner Promotions in association with Showtime Championship Boxing and Casino Rama. This bout coming your way once again is sanctioned by the World Boxing Organization. The president and supervisor is Francisco Valcarcel, along with the Ontario Boxing Commission, the commissioner Ken Hayashi. Our physicians at ringside, we have Dr. Al Murray, Dr. Lori Zelig, and Dr. Jason Su. And introducing to you our 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside. From Toronto, Ontario, we have Bernie Cormier. Also from Toronto, Harry Davis. And from Warwick, Rhode Island in the United States, Harold Gomes. Our referee in charge of this bout, the 3rd man of the ring, he is working in this his 134th world title bout, Joe Cortez. All right, fans, here we go with our main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO Junior Lightweight Championship of the World. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Casino Rama, it's showtime! Introducing to you first, ladies and gentlemen, on my right, the challenger, fighting out of the blue corner, entering the ring wearing green trunks with gold trim, hailing from Santa Fe, Argentina. He weighed in at a ready 129 pounds. His record stands at 49 wins, 4 losses, and 2 draws, with 30 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight he is making his 3rd bid at a world title. Please welcome the WBO number 9 ranked junior lightweight contender, introducing Carlos Rios. And his opponent across the ring, the defending world champion on my left, fighting out of the red corner. He is wearing white trunks with black trim, hailing from Salvador, Brazil. He weighed in the junior lightweight limit of 130 pounds even. As boxing's only current world champion with a perfect KO record, he has 26 wins, no losses, all 26 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight he is making the 5th defense of his title. Here is the explosive and undefeated WBO Junior Lightweight Champion of the World, introducing Acelino Freitas. Once again, Joe Cortez is our referee in charge. Now to give instructions, 12 rounds of boxing schedule.
All right, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. Ya vi las reglas en el camerino. I expect a good, clean fight. Quiero una pelea limpia. Cuando yo digo break, when I say break, rompan limpio, ¿entienden? La truza está un poco alta. These trunks are a little high here. Give me a clean fight. Give me good sportsmanlike conduct. Remember, guys, I'm fair, but I'm firm. Touch them up.
Joe Cortez working his 134th world title fight. Acelino Freitas, devastating power. He throws thunderous left hooks to the body, big right hand, aggressive from the start. He's looked almost frightening at times. We're just not thoroughly convinced of the opposition. Rios, usually a fast starter, like most Argentine fighters, rugged, awkward, brave, and strong. He's got a steel jaw, maybe a bit more offensive-minded, with more power than his countrymen. Sometimes leads with his head, but he does throw wide, looping punches from wide angles. That could be a real problem against Freitas, and he rarely ever jabs. You won't see many jabs from Freitas either. Pure power. But Rios likes to brawl. He likes to punch to the body. Very experienced. And he's been in there with some tough guys. Not many people impress him as far as big-name opposition.
Freitas likes to keep that left hand halfway out there, almost like a European style, measuring, just setting up that big right.
And Bobby, in 2 of Freitas' last 3 fights, he's been down in the first round.
Well, you know what? He got caught by a couple of punches. One was more of a push and balance shot. The other one just got caught by a clean shot. So I wonder about the steel jaw a little bit at least.
And he jumps right on Rios.
There's no questioning the fact that he can punch, though. He has power. You can see it. When he hits men in the side, they move 2 feet.
Rios has the will and the heart. Just not certain he's on the same skill or power level as Freitas. Can he make Freitas even respect him? We'll see. And another question, how will Freitas do against an awkward, rugged Argentinian like Rios? How long will it take for him to get rid of Rios?
A fighter with the style and mindset of Freitas respects nothing except getting hit back and getting hurt a little bit, getting a little sting. He won't give you the respect. You have to earn it. You have to deliver and land.
Among Rios's 4 losses, only 1 was by stoppage. Rios has been down at least 4 times. Freitas has been down, as we mentioned, 2 times, both in the first round in 2 of his last 3.
The stoppage for Rios was against Luisito Espinosa, who was a terrific champion, stopped him on cuts. He did drop him. He got up, but he was cut, and eventually they stopped it on the cut.
When Freitas won the title over Anatoly Alexandrov, a first-round knockout, he knocked Alexandrov unconscious for 5 minutes before they took him to the hospital. In his second defense, a thriller, Freitas was down 15 seconds and then scored 6 knockdowns against Barry Jones, who had never been down before.
I know some people think this is funny, and I've heard comments from fans when they've heard my commentary, but one of the things about Freitas that bugs me a little bit is that he has a perfectly straight nose. Even the best fighters have faced...
That gets to you, doesn't it?
We've all faced some punchers in the gym, at the very least, and that nose never stays pristine.
Unlike Rios. That's been pounded. Oh, big right uppercut by Freitas, right on the jaw.
And Rios did something real smart. He moved his head, bob and weave. He got out of there very, very well.
That's that experience. Well, Freitas was right. He told us yesterday he will not wait around for Rios to come to him. He'll attack from the start, and he has. It's not important to him to maintain his perfect knockout record. He just wants to win.
And he likes what he's doing.
Yep. And he's very aware that Rios often comes in with his head. But he said he's ready for that.
Looks like there might be a little bit of blood on the face of Rios.
Not surprising. There sure is, on the bridge of the nose and underneath the left eye. Our translator is Marco Brandau.
Observa. Jab, jab.
Jab, jab.
Come back with speed. Be careful with the counterattack. You have to. Okay, very good. Keep.
See Freitas leaping with that right hand and that left hook, and then again the second right hand lands right on the button.
All right, segundo afuera. Seconds out.
As he works Rios back into the corner again up against the ropes, there's nowhere to go. What we do, come up the middle. Perfectly timed and pinpointed right hand. Uppercut on the nose. To his credit, Rios got out of there in one piece.
Bobby, you can count the number of punches that connected by Rios on one hand. That was all Acelino Freitas in the first round from the opening bell, and he picks up where he left off.
Well, you see Freitas is coming forward with a little more poise than Simon. Simon came forward in an awkward fashion, sometimes his left foot getting in front of his right foot, punching, leaping, bending, jumping in. At least Freitas, he'll work in behind the jab, he'll leap in with right hand, but then he'll come back with the hook, he'll work behind the punches.
Freitas more polished. Now Rios just holding on to Freitas. That might be his best avenue right now.
Nice attempt at an under and over by Rios. Left hook to the body, right hand over the top. He looped it far too wide, though.
That's his story, his past looping punches, but you got to give him credit for attempting, for taking risks and moving in and trying to punch, because he knows what's coming back, and it's not pretty.
I also noticed Rios there using a jab, a feeler jab, and as soon as Freitas got into the jab, he ducked it through a right hand to the body, trying to take a little bit of the body out of Rios, see if that doesn't slow him down a little bit. Smart move, didn't work, not yet.
Rios said he planned to neutralize Freitas's incredible power with lateral movement and the jab. He said he aimed to box the first 3-4 rounds, then fight starting about round 5. If it goes that far, he feels Freitas doesn't have a good chin. Many big punchers don't have good chins. And his plan is to just hit Freitas right in the chin. But how do you get that close? And now Freitas using a nice jab to keep his distance. There it is. And a left hook. There's the right uppercut.
If you allow a puncher like that with that kind of power to just sit there at that range, at his range, and time you and size you up and measure you, you're asking for an awful lot of trouble.
Freitas a very crisp and accurate puncher, too. And not only powerful. Here's Rios opening up just a bit. But Freitas doing a great job of eluding. And he smiles and hammers him with a straight right.
Best offense is a good defense. Freitas couldn't hit him that much. Freitas had to sit there and worry about those punches.
Freitas really does enjoy what he's doing. You can see it in his face. Why not when you're 26-0 with 26 knockouts? Oh, right uppercut right on the jaw by Freitas. But Rios, he's got heart. Hangs tough. Very gutsy. Wild swing and a miss by Rios. Left eye might be a factor. You see a big cut over the left eye of Rios, who was badly cut 2 fights ago versus Hector Velasquez. He says, though, it's all healed now, no problem. I think he's got more problems now, though, than the left eye. It's called Acelino Freitas. Left uppercut, digging shots to the ribs. Oh, he's just all over the place. Look at Rios' reaction.
One great right hand there by Rios, and you know what? He's got a little attitude. I like what I just saw. I do like what I just saw.
How can you not?
No, eso no, eso no, eso no. La cuchara, la cuchara, la cuchara, la cuchara. La boca. A ver, Río. Pega duro, hijo de puta. Pega duro. Pega duro. Sí, la mano.
I'll help you. I'll help you. I'll give you a hand.
Él también recibió y no le gustó nada.
He also took the hit, and he didn't like. He didn't like what he took from you.
Sí. Trágalo. Está bien, ¿no? Está bien, sí.
Seconds out.
Rios here working Freitas on the ropes, trying to get his pound of flesh and let Freitas know, I'm not here to be taken. I'm not just an opponent. I came to win. He didn't necessarily win the exchange, but he got some of his pound of flesh, got a little respect.
Bobby, a textbook illustration of how to use the ropes effectively by the champion Freitas. Slipping punches and counter-punching beautifully. Round 3. Rios' game. And you do have to love his attitude, but just not on the same skill level as Freitas.
You know, he doesn't have the power as Freitas. He may not have the overall skills, but you know what? I like his attitude. I like what I think he has in his work ethic, because he looks like he's come here to do the job, not just come here for a payday and go home. Like that. He's trying. He's trying to put some punches with bad intentions together and trying to hit the mark. Left hook to the body there, right over the top. He's got the right idea, Steve.
Rios says in the past, Freitas' opponents weren't real good punchers. And that's the reason he's just kind of sailed through everybody. But I tend to disagree.
Well, I may disagree or not disagree. I'm not sure it's relevant right now, but I see some punches landing from Rios. And all of a sudden, Freitas' offensive attitude a little bit different.
Freitas didn't like that. It was holding and then hitting on the back of the head by Rios, and the very capable Joe Cortez in there. Very reassuring to see a guy like that in the ring as the third man. Did a good job last week with Choppy Sharifi here on Showtime.
And I can see what Rios is doing. He's sitting there and he's waiting. He's trying to time Freitas, jumping in with a right hand, trying to time him with his own to get there first. It's a dangerous game to play with a man that punches as big as Freitas, but you never know.
A lot of movement by the champion, Freitas. Head movement, bobbing and weaving. Rios right in front of him. Good target.
Much more competitive, much better round for Rios.
Yeah, things settling down a little bit, but it could be the calm before the storm. Because Freitas can explode, can erupt like a volcano at any moment.
Whenever you have one-punch knockout artist with that type of power and that type of explosive ability, there's always a calm before every storm, because there's always a storm.
20 of his 26 knockouts in 3 rounds or less. We're into round 3, but just for your information, he has 10 first-round knockouts. Mr. Freitas.
See the hands up tight for Rios. He plans on being here a while, Steve. I don't think we're going to see an early fight. I don't think we're going to see a knockout before the 5th or 7th round, if we see one at all.
Well, that's Rios' MO. Well, his fights average just 5.7 rounds, Carlos Rios, but he's never been in there with a puncher like Freitas. Another guy who could use the punch pretty good, Joe Frazier, world heavyweight champion from 70 to 73 on hand tonight. 64 Olympic heavyweight champion, which is appropriate these days. Fought Muhammad Ali 3 times, won once. The first one, 71 at the Garden in New York. The fight of the century, they called it. Joe Frazier, Smoking Joe, with us tonight in the crowd.
March 8, 1971, the first time I ever cried myself to sleep. Muhammad Ali got beat.
You watched that as a little kid on TV.
Take it easy. Don't.
Well.
Yeah, take it easy.
I was set for round 4. Sellout crowd of about 3,500 here at Casino Rama in Northern Ontario. Rios' awkward style in front of Acelino Freitas. Rios, you can see, he's just a smart fighter. Very experienced. Trying to stay out of Freitas' range as best he can. Trying little tricks himself to see if he can do something offensively. He's thinking all the time.
You see a guy like Freitas fighting a guy like Diego Corrales. I still got to give a heavy lead to Corrales, because he'll not only stay busier than this, he's got a long jab. He can box, he can punch, he can take a punch. There's a lot to be settled in this division.
We saw A very impressive performance by the Cuban defector Joel Casamayor, now living in Miami, last week here on Showtime. Oh, there's a good right hand by Freitas. That would be a very, very big fight in the Hispanic community. Freitas versus Casamayor. That would be over the top.
Classic case of boxer versus puncher.
Yeah. Freitas being the puncher, Casamayor a real swift boxer. Very slick. All those guys undefeated, the only such division in boxing at 130, the champion. We approach the final minute of round 4, scheduled for 12, with the junior lightweight title at stake. The champion in the white trunks, Acelino Freitas, with his 5th defense. Rios rated number 9. He's 49-4-2 with 30 knockouts. Rios has Freitas on the rope, but Freitas knows what he's doing on the ropes. Not a good place to be, but he's able to work effectively off the ropes. Rios missing and then connecting.
And Rios is making a point. Nice right hand by Rios.
All of a sudden, and then he's spun around by the champion.
Rios is making a point here.
He's a tough kid. He's digging to the body, then goes upstairs, and he smacks him around a little bit. Pretty impressive display here by Rios towards the end of round 4.
Rios is not only getting his pound of flesh, playing a little bit of a head game, too.
So things getting interesting here, and Freitas says, good job.
Give me your face. I'll tell you something. Respira. Breathe.
We're going to take a look now. Freitas comes in behind the jab, throws a nice right hand right over the jab of Rios, and then what he does is he follows him all the way back to the ropes, works the body, works the uppercuts on the inside. You'll see the right hand come over the jab. There's the jab, there's the right hand, and he's right on top of him, aggressive. Go into the body, underneath eventually. There's the right uppercut. He's aggressive, always thinking forward, always thinking about dishing out punishment. End of the round was really pretty nice. Rios was getting his pound of flesh, as I said. Not the bigger puncher, but making his punches be counted for something. Getting himself noticed.
Well, he was sure noticed by the champion, who at the bell touched gloves with Rios and was very respectful of him. He said, good job to the challenger out of Santa Fe, Argentina, a town that has produced several real tough boxing champions. Good right hand there by Rios, including the great Carlos Monzon and also Juan Koji. I told you about the concern about the left eye of Carlos Rios from a fight a couple of fights ago. The swelling around his left eye continues to increase.
He's actually got the cut underneath that eye, though, so for right now, the cut's not a problem.
Boy, slicing right crosses like that will make it a problem.
Sure will.
Won't it? Yep.
See, Freitas is very frustrated right now because he can't hit Rios clean.
Left-right combination by Freitas. And Rios wisely takes off the ropes. There's a beautiful right cross by Freitas.
And you see the knees buckle on Rios. He was hurt pretty good. There's another one, knees buckle.
That was a razor-sharp punch by Freitas. And Freitas opening up right now. He steps back and then fires away again. He's having his way.
He's so quick with that lead right hand. Many people underestimate the speed. And it's in your face, and all of a sudden, you're hurt.
And no counterattack whatsoever by the challenger. Has nothing to offer back. He is just taking a whipping here in round 5. It is a beating. Uppercuts, right crosses, everything from Freitas. Look at that left eye. It's really beginning to close on Carlos Rios.
Right now, a lot of the steam, whatever steam was on Rios' punches, have come off quite a bit. Freitas throwing caution to the wind, showing no respect.
Well, so much for the nice job at the end of the last round. He just jumps on Rios here in round 5 and a relentless attack. Rios trying to offer up something. Freitas just getting his wind back for the moment, fighting off the ropes. Rios is connecting with a few of those punches, lefts and rights. it was almost as if Freitas was letting him do that.
Well, you know what? You can't punch every minute of the round.
Yeah, he was
never the entire minute.
Just trying to get some wind back, and here he goes again. He got his wind back all right, and then some. And those are stinging punches by Freitas.
Freitas is not going to the body enough in this sequence. He's head hunting quite a bit. I think if he mixed them up, the head and body like Chavez used to do, could be more devastating.
You could be the smartest fighter in the world, but after a while, those punches just begin to accumulate and take their toll, and it takes all the steam and starch out of you, and there's nothing you can do about it. As the very, very low bell sounds to end round 5.
Acelino, vamos, carga, carga aire. Acelino, vamos. Carga muchas veces y te sale igual. Él está muerto, Río. Mira que te pegó y no tiene pegada.
¿Está todo bien aquí?
Todo bien.
¿Está bien? Ah, qué bien. Yo estoy aquí para
No permita que lo empuje, señor, por favor.
Yo estoy aquí para protegerlo.
Durísimo. Un poquito de agua. ¿No tenés un poquito inflamado esto? ¿Ves bien ahí o no ves bien? Lo único, Río. El corte está bien. ¿Cómo andamos? ¿Está bien?
A straight right-hand lead, which started the problems for Rios. There it is, right over to James. See his legs buckle? He almost had to grab Rios from falling. Here's from an overhead. Leads right in with it. And he turns in with his body well. Bang. Rios' legs almost came out from under.
Let's go.
And here's Rios, to his credit, trying to figure maybe Freitas got a little tired trying to come back here and hit him.
Got that left hook in. Rios stunned at the 105 mark of round 5. And again, with 30 seconds remaining, a punishing round for the challenger. Freitas told us he really wants to make a good impression on the American television audience and the Brazilians watching in America. Good countering straight right hand by Freitas.
A little too much head hunting again, maybe. A couple of straights to the body, straight right hands to the body, left hook up underneath the rib cage. You never can tell. That one seemed a little south of the border.
And Joe Cortez agreed. A little caution to Rios. Freitas, who averages just, what, 2.7 rounds, now into round 6, so somewhat of a moral victory to this point for Rios to extend them this deep. Freitas has never been past 8. He's been into the 8th 2 times, including against...
Got a real good feeling he's probably going to see the 8th round today.
Juan Macias and Barry Jones. Yeah, you're right. At this particular rate. Freitas born in Bahia, Brazil. Now lives in Salvador, Brazil.
Some nice work on the inside here by Rios.
Under a minute in round 6. Rios flailing. Not even getting close in that exchange. Looks over to his corner for a moment. Could be dangerous against a guy like Freitas, who punches so fast.
I think he just hit him in the hip.
He did. Rios just hit Freitas very low. Oh, Rios just walked into a straight right. You see that, Bobby?
Walked straight into it.
He just leads with his head, and it's so dangerous against a fighter like Freitas, who has a great lead right. The punishment really beginning to take its toll on Rios, moving a little slower, just leaning his head on the left shoulder of Freitas, looking for a quick respite. But this guy won't let you rest. Freitas non-stop. They keep going at the bell, but it's so low you can't hear it.
You know what, though, Steve? What was going on in the first half of the round is Freitas is doing what he wants. In the last half of the round, Rios is chasing him pretty good amount of that last minute and a half.
He's game.
carga aire, Carito, vamos. Recupera, papá. Pasarlo con la derecha, papá, por arriba, a la izquierda. Mirá, cansado ya. Si vos pones un poquito de huevo, de fuerza, ganás vos, estás muerto, ¿no?
Rios trying to get his pound of flesh continually. See, toward the end of the round, he's got Freitas against the ropes, and he's doing most of the work, or at least trying to. As the beginning part of the round ends, the strength factor kind of dissipates a little bit for Freitas. Doesn't have the big power, doesn't have the big bombs, and that's when Rios tries to make his move. Kind of interesting, but not a winning strategy as of yet.
Bobby, halfway through, have you given any rounds to Rios?
No, I can't really give him a round, Steve. No, I really can't, but I really want to.
I know you like what's in his heart.
I like what's in his heart and in his head. He's got a good attitude, a lot of guts, and I like that. That doesn't mean he's done enough to win the round.
Well, momentarily, we'll see how the folks at home. Now he's taking, as if things aren't bad enough, right? Rios taking a point away. The low blow infraction. Oh, wicked left hook right out of the gate by Freitas. It comes so fast.
He's not a big jabber for power. He's not a big jabber regularly. He likes to hit with the big stuff.
And as promised, here's the online scoring. Well, the fans gave one round to Rios, round number 4.
I was going to say, probably was round number 4. We had him against the ropes, and he worked him over pretty good there for about 30 seconds. But he wasn't effective enough to steal the whole round, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion.
That's showbiz. Round 7. Scheduled for 12.
No, it might be a little early to say this since we're just a wee bit past the halfway point, but I sense a sort of distance fight here. Freitas is slowing down quite a bit in the amount of punishment he's dishing out, even in the early part of the rounds, which leads me to believe he's saving a little energy for a strong finish.
That would certainly be a first for Freitas, who's never gone past 8. Freitas, the 3rd world champion from Brazil. The first, as mentioned earlier, Eder Joffre, one of the great fighters in history. He won world titles at bantamweight and featherweight, was first crowned in 1960. The other champ, junior middleweight, Miguel de Oliveira, was crowned in 1975. From the beautiful country of Brazil. He drew 50,000 fans at a soccer stadium in his hometown of Salvador, Brazil, in his first defense. Knocked out Anthony Martinez. His image is on posters, television throughout his native country. He's really a huge hero in Brazil.
Notice who for this entire round has been going backwards. The champion. He's been on the retreat. Still, he's probably landed the better shots.
You get the feeling it's by design, though.
Well, it's by design, too, but I don't think that he can keep the pace right now. He doesn't know how to punch lightly. So right now, he's got to save a little energy.
That's what he's doing. Trying to catch a break here, second win. Oh, there's a left hand by Freitas that got in. Even maybe sloppy's not the best usage, but those kinds of punches are getting in by Freitas. The wild punches. Look at this exchange. But Freitas winning it.
Freitas, he plays the ropes very well. He works the ropes just like you draw it up in a textbook many times.
Uppercut, twisting uppercut to the chin by Freitas just before the bell.
He's dead. He's tired. He's really tired. Yeah. Let me see this. Yeah, open up your mouth here.
Carga, Carito, carga bien profundo, papá, vamos.
Rio, breathe.
Es tu oportunidad, Rio.
It's your opportunity. He's dead.
No
He's
pega
tired.
más. No me digas que te pega, que pega.
Sí, pega.
Pero ya no cree, así está muerto.
¿Qué? La concha de tu madre, no pega.
Está en el aire, está mal parado. Vos estás más fuerte que él, ahí le ven el más, mano.
He's low. And
A little south of the border action here, and the point is taken away. A little wince on the face there, Freitas, too. There they bang heads, incidental. Knowing doing it on purpose, but heads will bang. Fighters leap in.
Do you agree with what they're telling their man, Carlos Rios, that Freitas is out of it? He's tired. He's not even in the fight.
Well, clearly he's in the fight. He's winning the fight, but I understand what they're doing. They're trying to pump some incentive. And one of the things that Freitas being the non-aggressor for the whole last round indicates is that he probably is tiring a little bit. That he doesn't have the stamina to keep a fast pace now to close out the fight. That's not to say he still doesn't have that power and better boxing skill.
But there's a difference between providing motivation and incentive in a fighter's corner and being nonsensical.
Steve, I wouldn't go so far as to say that. Fighters, you have to do whatever you can do to motivate them.
Oh, my goodness.
I've seen stranger things than what I've just seen there.
I'm sure you have. And we will continue to. Round 8.
One of the most incredibly intricate and difficult places to ever imagine is inside a fighter's head. Trust me on this one.
I do. I'm sure Freitas going in. Oh, there's a pretty good left hand there by Rios.
Right hand to the body, left hook up to the jaw. Very effective. Got his attention.
Yep. No knockdowns thus far, and the left eye of Rios continues to shut. Now right hand by Rios. Wasn't much behind it, but he got his attention.
Had him a little off balance, just jerked his head back a little bit, made it look better than it was.
Yep.
Because he was even a little off balance when he threw it, but the fact he's charging with punches says something about Rios.
Caught him off guard a little bit there. Once again, an awkward fighter. And there's a nifty right hand that got through by Freitas. Freitas with the right uppercut that missed. Rios continues to be very game. He's got the resolve. There's no question about that. Just not on the same power and skill level of Mr. Freitas.
Mayweather, who's a textbook boxer at this weight. Sharp hands, good combinations, good speed, good power. Couldn't get him out. This guy showed a chin. He showed the ability to last. He showed conditioning. He showed what it takes to at least go to distance. He's just not at that level yet.
Cortez also concerned right now about the head of Carlos Rios. He's been coming a little more closer to the head of Freitas with more regularity. What a left hook by Freitas. Right on the head. Another left hook to the side of the head by Freitas. That one not as clean.
And you can hear Rios say, come on, come on.
Yeah, he is one tough Argentinian. That is the nature of fighters from that country. Look at the damaged left eye of Carlos Rios. All black and blue underneath. Beginning to close the bell to end round 8.
You're losing, but only for he's going to win by only 2 or 3 points, nothing more than that.
Río, noveno, décimo primero, quedan 4 rounds.
There's only 4 rounds left. If you lose for only 2, he's tired. He's very tired.
Hay que buscar fuerza, no sé
Yeah,
de dónde.
put a lot of strength in your punch.
Freitas leads with that right hand again, catching Rios right on the jaw. That's been one of his key punches. Now we're going to see him work the other side. Comes in very, very deliberately. Works up underneath. Well, they tie up here. He doesn't get off.
Bobby, I know fighters don't like moral victories. They mean bupkis. Announcers like to talk about stuff like this. So I'll just say that for the first time, Acelino Freitas goes into the 9th round, and it's courtesy of Carlos Rios.
And at the very least, a moral victory. I couldn't help it. You set me up.
Once again, I don't know, I guess it's just motivational speaking in the corner of Carlos Rios.
Well, they went from he's no longer in it to
it's close.
It's close, and you're going to lose by 3 or 4 points. That's a huge lead.
That's a pretty big lead. At least they're getting a little more realistic. Well, what about the part about Freitas being tired? Are they accurate there? It sure doesn't seem like he's tired.
Big right hand. You can see him he was looking for the corner, somewhere to back his hands up.
I think, yeah. And he's in all kinds of trouble. Down he goes. For the 5th time in his career. He gets up at 5, a barrage. Seemed like just a matter of time before that would happen.
Big right hand. He got caught with many.
Oh, a towel went in. They're throwing in the towel, and then the referee, Joe Cortez, stops the fight. The fight has to be stopped there by the referee, although there wasn't much question because of that blood streaking down the left eye and all kinds of problems for Rios.
Yeah, I think that was, all a matter of time. He may have lasted another round and a half, but I don't think he had much more left. He was hurt pretty good. That right hand really, really took the steam out of him.
It ripped up his face completely there along the left. Look at that awful gash underneath the left eye, a deep cut.
Yeah, it tore his eye wide open, but I think it also hurt quite a bit. I've had eyes like that without the cut that were swollen that bad. They're extremely tender and they're painful as can be.
And almost astonishingly, we never saw the ringside physician go over there and check that fight or that eye at any point between rounds or at any point during the fight. Sometimes they can do it during the fight.
Yeah, it never really looked bad enough to check from where I was sitting, and I'm pretty close to his corner. I could see it a little bit, but it never really looked that bad, Steve.
Well, Acelino Freitas was just a marksman as he targeted that damaged left eye of Carlos Rios and ultimately picks up another knockout and maintains his perfect knockout record.
Here's a situation where a guy like Carlos Rios, who's gone the distance with Mayweather, who's only stopped on a cut by Luisito Espinosa, even though he's not a big test and he's not a proven commodity, it adds to the statement about Freitas. He stopped a guy without it being just a cut that hasn't been stopped so easily by better men.
And I think you'll give him credit for stopping a very awkward, rugged, tough South American Argentinian fighter.
And not only that, but he won every round in doing it. So I think that says something too in and of itself.
His fifth successful defense of the WBO junior lightweight title, remains unbeaten. 27-0, 27 knockouts. Carlos Rios falls to 49-5-2, all 5 losses on the road. We'll take a look at some of the action. Well, there's some pretty good action right here, but some action at the end of the fight.
It's better action. I like it better. We're going to see that right hand now. He lands it. He walks into it. He comes off the ropes into it, does Rios. Look at him. His legs are under him. He's looking for the corner because he's looking for somewhere to lean up and sort of position himself before he gets hurt. And his corner realizes once he goes down, this is a tough kid that won't go down unless he really is hurt.
And I really hope that that was Acelino's wife.
That right hand, that just did everything. The eye, the legs, the body. The attrition factor, big here too. The punishment he caught up on was a cumulative effect.
So it's a happy birthday for Acelino Freitas. Gives himself a little birthday gift here 2 days ago.
From overhead, we're going to see the finish off in the corner. He's hurt. Not all these shots, except that one. That was very clean. That was hard to see from the other angle. That hurt him. And the towel comes flying in the ring. The corner knows when to save their man.
So Freitas, turning 25 2 days ago, says happy birthday myself as he picks up another victory. He told us title unification means more to him than fighting Prince Nassim Hamed. Let's get the official call from Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 1 minute 18 seconds of round number 9. Our referee in charge, Joe Cortez, recognizes the corner and stops the contest. The winner by way of technical knockout. He is still undefeated with a perfect record and still the WBO junior lightweight champion of the world, Acelino Freitas.
Acelino Freitas remains undefeated, maintains his perfect knockout record. It's interesting, Hamed was reportedly offered $5 million by promoter Frank Warren, who's here tonight, to fight Freitas in England, $6 million to meet him in the U.S. The word is Hamed just sees Freitas as too big to fight. Freitas did tell us he wants Mayweather.
Didn't I say something about Corrales? Same thing. He's not coming up, and he makes fun of Tapia for not coming up to him. I don't like that.
All right. Well, Larry Michael is standing by. Let's go up to Larry right now in the ring. Larry.
Congratulations, Popo. Happy birthday. Was this a tougher fight than you expected?
Você achou que a luta foi mais difícil do que você esperava?
Rios é um adversário que aguenta muito. Lutou com Mayweather e perdeu por pontos. Então, isso foi uma experiência nova para mim.
It was a new experience for me. He's a fighter that can catch a lot. He can take the punches very hard.
Do you have any question during that fight whether you would knock him out and the streak might be broken?
Você, durante algum momento, teve alguma dúvida que você ia derrubar ele ou não?
Não, eu luto para vencer. A minha meta é vencer, não importa se for por ponto ou por nocaute. É consequência da luta.
I fight to win. It doesn't matter if it's by KO or by points.
Certainly is an exciting fighter. What is next for you? We hear Casamayor might be next on your agenda. What are your thoughts?
Quem você acha que vai lutar, vai ser sua próxima luta?
Os 3 campeões. Os 3 juntos, em uma noite só.
Oh, he wants to fight the 3 champions all at once.
All in the same night, huh?
Tudo na mesma noite?
Sim, 1 minuto de cada.
1 minute by each.
Could you do that at your weight? Can you keep the weight and be able to take on all 3 of those champions? Because we know you have a hard time making the weight.
Você consegue manter seu peso e para poder lutar contra esses 3 campeões?
Agora sim, agora estou conseguindo. Tenho consciência, sou profissional no que faço. E quando eu dou peso na balança, quando eu subo no ringue, só dá eu.
I'm a professional. I try to keep my weight. I will try to keep it under control.
Do you think any of those 3 champions can stand up to your punching power?
Você acha que qualquer um dos 3 consegue aguentar a força do seu soco?
Não, acho que não.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I even knew that. Congratulations, Popo.
Parabéns para você.
Parabéns e quero dedicar minha vitória a todos os olímpicos brasileiros. A Kelso está nas Olimpíadas. Bora torcer por Kelso. Baiano brasileiro que está em Olimpíadas no boxe, a esperança da medalha para o Brasil.
I would like to dedicate my win to all the Olympians, Brazilian boxers that are in the Olympics right now.
E dedicar minha vitória à minha mãe, a meus filhos que estão em casa e a meu futuro casamento.
Dedicate to my mom and my kids that are at home and everybody back home.
All right, the pride of Brazil, Popomania, invades North America. Let's go back to Steve Albert.
All right, Larry, thanks very much. And in case you folks at home are wondering, the word popo, where that comes from, that's the word Freitas used for milk when he was a little boy. All right, so Popo comes through here in the 9th round against Carlos Rios. Let's see how the folks at home saw it. Check the online scoring. So how do you like this, Bobby Ches?
I don't get 5-4. There was one round that I thought Rios kind of dominated. Well, not dominated, but kind of took just because he outworked the champion. But one round was all I could muster up for him.
Yeah, the folks online thought that Rios won the last 3. So they thought Rios won rounds number 4, 6, 7, and 8. And Freitas squeaks it out there, 5-4. We'll try to get you the official scorecards from the judges here.
He squeaked it out by KO, though.
Yeah, yeah, right. We'll try to get you the scores up to that point, of course, before we leave the air. All right, so let's get your final thoughts. Let's go back to that first fight between Harry Simon and Rodney Jones. Harry, of course, kept telling us in the meeting yesterday that he thought he was ready right now for Felix Trinidad. But just to reiterate, what do you think?
Well, I think he just proved that he's not ready for Felix Trinidad right now. And if he's ready for Trinidad now, it's for a payday. It's not to prove that he can beat him. I don't think he showed the skills today. I don't think he showed a lot of different things that he needed to. The experience factor against the likes of what Trinidad has faced, they're not even comparable.
And how about Acelino Freitas? The impressive level on your meter from 1 to 10.
From 1 to 10, I have to give him a solid 8. I really believe he showed me some different things that I was looking for. He stopped the guy who was very tough and very difficult. His power I knew was there. There were other things I was looking at. And again, Rios didn't hit hard enough to convince me that we have a tough guy here. Because I want to know if he's just as tough as he is good. Because one is the ability to give a whooping, the other is the ability to take it.
But you had no argument with the stoppage. Of course, the corner wanted it to be stopped.
I couldn't argue it either way, but no, I wouldn't argue that stoppage. I think that we all know it was about a matter of moments.
What about the future for this kid, Acelino Freitas? Deep down in your heart, who would you like to see him unify against first?
Any one of the fighters in this division is just an exciting fight. It really is. I think that Casamayor is nice. Mayweather's nice. Corrales is he's one of my favorites.
All right, so we'll see what happens down the road in the future for the hard-punching young man from Brazil who just turned 25 2 days ago, Acelino Freitas. All right, now coming up in October, we'll bring you the rematch of 1999's Fight of the Year, as well as the biggest attraction in boxing, We want to remind you that 2 weeks from tonight, Johnny Tapia tries to avenge his only loss suffered at the hands of Paulie Ayala. That's Saturday, October the 7th at 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. Tapia versus Ayala. It's a battle you won't want to miss. We just received word that it's going to be a 12-round fight, not a 10-round fight, for something called the IBA Championship. But as we mentioned earlier, who cares really how long the fight is, whether it's 10 rounds or 12 rounds. It has all the elements, all the ingredients of a great fight based on that first fight, which was just tremendous. It was indeed the fight of the year for 1999. So that's going to be Johnny Tapia versus Paulie Ayala coming up at the MGM Grand on October 7th in the incredible city of Las Vegas, Nevada. And then on Friday, October the 20th, SET Pay-Per-View presents two of the most feared and compelling fighters in boxing. Former undisputed world heavyweight champion Mike Tyson takes on the enigmatic Andrew Galata in a long-awaited matchup. It'll be Tyson versus Galata live on pay-per-view Friday, October the 20th at 9 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. Quickly, the scores.